Hi guys, welcome to our short lecture. For our topic today, we'll discuss audience and purpose. The objective of this lecture is analyzing who are the readers, the proper tone for writing, and the purpose when writing. So first, let's talk about the audience. An audience is a group of readers who reads a particular piece of writing. As a writer, you should anticipate the needs or expectations of your audience in order to convey information or argue a particular claim. Now, of course, there is a certain purpose of why you are writing. But that purpose will be determined, or the style of your writing will be determined by who you want to address or who you want to talk to. Okay? And you're going to talk to your readers. So, we must first know who our readers are. Now, your audience might be your instructor, classmates, the president of an organization, the staff of a management company, or other number of possibilities. You need to know your audience before you start writing because the choice of words, the structure of your sentence, and the general purpose of why you're writing this particular piece depends on who your audience are. And as a writer, knowing your audience helps. It helps to make decisions about the information to include. So, if you're talking to, let's say, a child, so you must just include the basic information. Now, say for example, you're talking to a colleague or a person that has a similar status than you and similar understanding, then of course, you have to include jargons, you have to include the things that they can understand. Okay? Next is how information should be arranged. So, what information needs to be talked about first and what other details are needed to be added. Next is what kind of supporting details will be necessary to understand the audience or to understand your readers. Okay? Next is influence the tone and structure of the document. Now, is your audience formal, or do they have formal education, or are they or do they belong to, let's say, the masses? That's how you determine the tone and structure of your writing. Lastly, develop and present an effective argument you need to be able to appeal to and address your audience. So, how would you structure an argument, or how will you structure an information so that your audience will understand and will basically enjoy what they are reading? So, now let's determine our audience. So, writers determine their audience type by considering the following. So, first is who are they? Demographics, so to speak. The age, sex, education, economic status, political, social, and religious beliefs. These are the things that you need to consider. Next is what level of information they have about the subject. Are they novice? Are they a general reader? Or a specialist or expert? So again, determining what level of understanding they have about a specific topic that you are talking about determines how you're going to present the information. And lastly, the context in which they will read a particular piece. Is it going to be found, or is it going to be read in a newspaper or a textbook or a popular magazine? Now, in our case, it's going to be in an internet blog platform. So, of course, you must tailor your articles in that particular format. Now, we have some tips for you to consider when determining the audience. First, what may work on one platform may flop on another. So, the key is to learn more about the community and the etiquette for each one. Okay? For example, if you're going to write in a newspaper, then you must follow a particular structure. Now, say you're going to write in a Twitter feed. So, that's another structure. So, again, platform actually is very important in considering how you write your articles. Next is, we need to adjust our message. How we say it and what information we include by recognizing that different readers can best understand different message. So, say for example, you're writing for Twitter. Of course, the message that you're going to do or that you're going to write is bound by limited number of characters. Okay? Now, say for example, you're going to create an opinion piece. So, of course, the length of your article will be a bit longer. And the nature on how you explain things, you can expound a bit more because, again, you have more than the limited number of characters from Twitter. So, determining what platform and adjusting to that platform because that particular platform, for example, again, Twitter, has a different kind of audience compared to, say, you're going to post the same message in, let's say, another platform like Facebook. So, Twitter and Facebook, of course, although they both are social media platforms, have different audience in them. Understanding your audience means thinking about number one, what am I sharing? So, is this going to be interesting to the audience? Are they interested in the topic that I am writing about? Okay. Number two, who am I talking to? So again, who is the audience? Am I talking to youngsters, to children, or am I talking to professionals? Okay. Next is, who do I want to talk to? Okay? So, that's a different thing because, of course, let's say, for example, you are addressing an audience or you are addressing, let's say, a contemporary audience or audiences that comes from your own generation. Okay? So, when a person in Twitter that does not belong in the same demographic as you do, maybe they will interpret your article or your piece a bit differently from, let's say, your own demographic. Next is, what do I want to be sharing with them? Of course, currency, okay, or what is current is very important. Is the thing or is the topic that I'm going to write about relevant at this time? And lastly, am I using the right platform to reach this audience? Okay, so those are the things that you really need to be asking before proceeding to write about a certain topic in mind. Now let's talk about purpose. So why am I writing? What is my goal or my purpose for writing? Okay. Purpose is the aim or the goal of the writer or the written product. A strategy is a means of achieving that purpose. Is the article that I'm writing about to inform or to instruct? Or is it to narrate, to persuade, or to entertain? Example, if you're writing to persuade, okay? So, let's say we're going to write in social media, okay? So, you can follow the 4 P's formula. promise, picture, proof, and push. Promise, where you tell the readers what's in it for them. So, this is very much relevant when you are writing or reviewing a particular product. Uh, if you're reviewing, say, for example, a cell phone, then you're going to identify its features and how is it going to help the lifestyle of your readers. Next is picture, where you paint a vivid scene for the reader to show them what's possible. So, in a way, this is where the narrative storytelling comes in mind. Okay? Where you tell your readers stories, and within those stories, you show them their possibilities for them to reflect on or for them to relate to whoever is narrating the story. Next is proof, where you back up your vision for them with substantial evidence that you can deliver on your promise. Okay? Now, in terms of proof, this is where research comes in. It's not just you telling your audience that this is relevant to them, but actually presenting them with information to help your purpose. And lastly, you have push, where you make your offer and request that they take action. Okay, now this is very relevant in writing for advertising or writing for marketing, where you tell your readers that after they have read your article, that if they follow or if they take your advice, then their lives will become better. Right? So that ends my short lecture on identifying your audience and your purpose in writing. I hope that you learned something. If you have any questions, your questions will be entertained during our synchronous sessions, or you can send them via email or course message. Again, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next lecture video.